Guys, hope you're good. Welcome back to the channel. If you can see some mess behind me, then mind your business. I'm in the middle of revamping the office. Today's video is a good one. We're getting stuck into breaking down James Smith's marketing funnel for his online coaching service, affordable online coaching. So let's get stuck right in here. I'm excited for this one. What we're going to do, I say marketing funnel. I'm not going to opt into the stuff and all that and check the emails and stuff like that just because I know how annoying it is when people do that. So we'll just look at the overall website and look at the approach to it in the hope that you can take some inspiration. I'm going to look to see if there's any holes that I think are in it. But yeah, let's get stuck into it. First things first, this is the site here. It's Affordable Online Coaching. That's the name of it. I remember when I first started as a PT, mine was like, it was called Hawkeye Fitness. And one of the taglines was affordable. I'm not really sure how I feel about the name Affordable Online Coaching, but I'm going to go on and talk about why potentially they're using that as the name. I think they were really, really big on calling it James Smith Academy. And now, of course, with him venturing into content creation and content courses and all that sort of stuff and the tonic and everything else he's doing, they've probably just went with this to remove his name from it. So I'm going to talk about the website. I'm going to break down each section of the website. So here we've got membership plans, challenges, member results, and coaches. So that's the sections. And then we're going to look at the Instagram. And then we're also going to talk about the space that he's operating in versus the space that you're operating in and why it's slightly different. Okay, so let's head over to the website. You can see here, this is the home site. We have obviously transformations, a nice carousel there, which is animated, which makes it look pretty good. We have a mock-up of an iPhone here showing the app to show the visual people, like for people who are visual learners, like, okay, what is this actually showing me? And it shows you progress and stuff. And then we have the headline, where quality online coaching meets affordability, 7-day free trial. So straight up, try us out, no credit card required. Formerly James Smith Academy. So you can see here they used to call it that. I'm just imagining he's wanted his name removed from it to go forward and build a team around it instead of him. So full access to the app, you can download an app store and get it on Play Store. So let's break each section of this home site down. Everything you need to reach your goals. What you can notice here, this is really simple language. And it's probably because the market that you're trying to attract is very, very beginner based. Or there might be the odd outlier who, you can see some images here, some people are building muscle as well. But yeah, like when you go to a lot of coaches' websites and stuff, they just use jargon words, and you can see how this is really simple. Everything you need to reach your goals. The copywriter in me wants to say more, but it's simple. You can see here the app again with an example of the workout, full body, 7 exercises. This is how long it takes. What I really want you to focus is, I know I'm just reading out what you can see, but there's a reason that this is placed on here. There's intent behind it, right? When we look at each section. One of the things I've always found to help is like, so you actually just zoom away out of a site, right, and just look at it and go, right, what's the sections here? So section 1, this is all the same section, so that's section 2, and then it's like meet the team, and then it's just join the community. That's all this site is. So if you're looking at this and going, mine is nothing like this, it's nowhere near as good, it's just section by section, right? This is just big title, subtitle, big headline, subheadline, a little bit of text there, and then action, call to action. Click on this, download this thing, mock up, transformations, right? And then we come down here, tons of experienced coaches. We have stay on track to, how it's going to work with tracking it. And then we have a bit of a flex here with meet the team. So it's like, right, okay, who's going to be helping me? Is it going to be like an AI bot or whatever? And you can see they're addressing this straight away. They're real, they're not bots, because obviously I'd imagine in the app game for fitness, there's a lot of automated bots and things like that. Even though it's cheap, you still want to speak to a human being if you can. So the way that James has been able to build this, obviously, is to build a big team. And the fact is, it's a separate page here. All these different types of people in different countries, different time zones to be able to equip you, and our coaches are ready to work with you. So really simple, bit of a flex here for a lot of people who might not have team members, but if you do, then you want to make sure that you have a meet the team and what they would do for you. So they say that it's around the clock support that sets them apart from other fitness apps. And I'm going to come back to this point I made here, right? Because we've already got first evidence here that this is all about an app, right? It's a fitness app. So I want you to understand that. So next part is join the community to achieve your goals together. Motivation when you need it. All members will have access to the Facebook community after purchasing the premium plan. And you can see here the big community event. Probably doesn't happen anymore, but so much more than an online PT program. Real feedback from members who have invested in themselves. And now you can see here, this takes us to Trustpilot, which is another flex. Really, really good. Takes you up here. If you've got Trustpilot and you're ready to put your money where your mouth is, there's a few 1-stars here, but you're going to get that. But you can see here all the 5 stars, which is great. So if you've got Google reviews or Trustpilot reviews, you can take inspiration for that. Really solid. And then down here, you've got all the usual stuff, terms and conditions. So that's what it does here. Things that I think, for me personally, I like to be a bit more, I know James does as well, but maybe this is just he's not handling this anymore. And I'm sure he does it on the front end, top of funnel situation. But there's not a lot of comparisons here to other fitness apps. Like there's a little bit mentioned here. But I would be doing a, standard fitness app comparison, even tackling Apple's apps. Like all the fitness apps that are out there, I would do a comparison underneath this to show why you're different. Like this is great. So I would have all of these people stacked up in a collage versus the typical apps that you get out there. That's what I would probably do. But who am I? So then we move on to membership plans. And again, this is something that, you've got a difference in currency here, which is great. Not a lot of coaches will do this because they don't want to tell their prices. There's a lot of debate around this, just show your prices, but the game's changed a little bit. There's so many options out there that people need to speak to another human being to actually articulate the value of their service. And you can see it's okay to do this when you're £10 a month and stuff like that, right? But you've got starter, premium, and premium plus. What I love about this premium plus is how it's put on a kind of card like that. Really cool. I think you should take note of that for yourself. If you've got a higher tier, then look at putting it on a bit of a mock-up, which feels platinum and premium. And I'm not going to go over all these prices here, but you can see they are obviously worked out in such a way that you get a deal if you want to go for bigger commitment levels. And then you've got all the tick boxes here. One thing that if you've just got one offer, like it doesn't hurt you to make a higher tier. I would always advise you to make a higher tier before you make a lower tier, but make a higher tier and just position it. You can see here that if I was to really look at this, this will probably be heavily favoured to make it worth it. You can see it's got a nice shiny bits to it. It's got all the ticks next to it. So this is what they're edging you towards. Now, if you've only got one offer, it's very difficult to have a comparison. So even if you've only got one offer, pick something else. Pick something else that your typical market buy so that you can compare it. And you might not beat them on price, but you can stack all of this stuff that's included. So you might go regular, let's say you're an online coach, you might go regular PT down the road, coaching your session, say hi to you when you arrive, say bye to you when you leave. That's it. Online coaching, you'll just have all your ticks there and you can stack all the features and benefits that you have in your service, and that's where you can do that comparison. And even you can even do this if it's just to book a call, right? And then we come down here, big 7-day trial, full access to the app. Does it have the trial here? I'd probably move that to here. So it's big right in your face, like before I have to scroll. I'd imagine on mobile as well, it'll take a little bit longer to get down there, but I'd make sure that's there at the top, right next to, or even as a sub-headline on each part, just to reinforce it. And then a big guarantee here, 14 days money back from the date of purchase as well, so putting their money where their mouth is. We move on to challenges here, find out more about our challenges. We'll get a nice video here, really well put together video. Can't grumble. And guys, can I stress enough that if you're going to do things that sit on your website, just go and do them well. Like, go and plan it out, right? And you can see he's done that very well. Next challenge is here. Here's when it ends. Here's the price of it. Here's why you should join. Here's the waiting list. Here's the big prizes you're getting from it. And then there's the enrollment period here, all built out. Cool. Then we move over to member results, and this is something that I just quickly checked this. I wanted to give you a live reaction, but I quickly checked this before the call in case there was anything else I had to load up. But very impressed. Like, this is class. And if I was still a coach, this is exactly what I'd be doing. Can I deny that? You cannot deny that. I'd probably, if I was just to be critical because I'm doing this video, but I'd probably break it up a little bit. There's a real variety of people here. So you've got a guy here, you've got this guy here, slightly different age from him. You've got this woman, this girl, like they're all different ages, shapes and sizes, which is great. But I would probably categorize it male and female. and then I'd probably categorize it muscle building or fat loss. I know that's quite hard because then you're like associating or picking one. Maybe you only do age, maybe you're under 30s, maybe you're over 30s. If the members are okay with it, I think it would just, categorising it would just show like, wow, this is suitable for everybody. Because I've done loads of testimony results before on my pages and stuff like that, and it can get, like, I love this for me, but for the viewer can potentially get overwhelming. So I'd probably be like, up here you could have some buttons that just says over 30 women, click, and it pulls all the results for over 30 women, under 30 women, male, female, something as simple as that. And I think that would go down really well. Then we have the coaches here, brief description. It's funny because some people are one person, one woman, one man band, and they don't even have a little bit of meet them and, you know, what about their story and stuff like that. You can see there's a nice variety of ages, people, which is pretty cool. Just meet the coaches. Cool. So that's the site. So we need to think about, like, okay, how is he actually getting eyeballs over to this site? Now, the most obvious thing, I don't know if he's using TikTok, like, or the company's using TikTok. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't even want to go on it. So I'm only going to stick to the Instagram account here, which is this. And you can see here, you've got the personalised workouts and coach support, what plan is right for you. And then, of course, you've got all the content here. But when you click on this here, it takes you to a score app, which is the score app by Darren Priestley, who is just a lead magnet to collate information. So let's map out your perfect plan. So when someone gives their details here, in exchange of giving their details, they'll, like, this company, Affordable Online Coaching, will get them on their email list and be able to email market them, which is great. But also the person who's clicking on it will get value. They'll be able to figure out a little plan that works for them. And then from there, it's about selling them up. So you have to think about, like, what you've got in your bio right now. When I ask coaches, like, what's in your bio? And they go, just a link to my Typeform. And I go, okay, how many visitors did it have last month? They can't tell you. And your link in your bio can become like wallpaper. And if you're getting, let's say you got 200 clicks on your bio last month and you got no calls booked, you need to change it. Like, why is it just sitting there at prime real estate? Change it. So you can see here that they're driving people obviously from the Instagram to that lead magnet to fill in their details and get a bit of a value exchange. And that seems to be where they're driving most of it, because I checked out the ads library. They weren't running any ads. Hadn't been for a while, unless they're using another page that I couldn't find. The Facebook link here that takes you to James Smith's Facebook. It doesn't, and then I checked the ad manager on that. There was none running. So in a sense, that's pretty much it. Obviously, you've got to understand here the space that he's operating in, which is he's in the app space, okay, and it's like low to mid ticket. I'd probably say it's low ticket, to be honest. If I look up here, there's a couple ones where, yeah, like this is low ticket, to be honest. Low to mid if you're lucky. So this is low to mid. Now, there's a couple of things obviously on that app there. James has got a large following and he drives people to it and stuff like that, big authority in the industry. So you can afford to go low mid. So you need to understand that. He's also competing against apps, which is, there's a lot of cheap apps now, $4.99, $6.99 for all different things. So you have to consider that when you think about some of the stuff that he's got on here. Now, in terms of the website, there's not a thing I wouldn't, if you're just running an online coaching business or a personal training business, there's not a thing you wouldn't copy here. Not copy, but make your own. So if I zoom out again, remember, there's just one section here. There's a 3-part section of features. And then there's a meet the team, and then there's a join the community. That is it, right? It's simple. But it's sleek, easy, it's on brand, and how you can take inspiration from it. By the way, it doesn't really matter what this looks like. The key to it all is, of course, being able to get eyeballs to no matter what your page looks like, whether that's, from your eyeballs to there, and, of course, getting them to there. That's the big goal here. So anyway, I hope that helped. That's a breakdown on Affordable Coaching, James Smith's online coaching company's funnel. Hopefully you learned quite a bit, and I'm sure James will be ready to implement those changes straight away. Anyway, guys, see you in the next video.